Namaste people, welcome to Shweta's Basket. I am Shweta and this is my basket, which I have very lovingly packed with the most beautiful short stories, poems, book, movie and restaurant reviews. All absolutely fresh and original. So before I proceed with the episode, I would love to share some great news with you guys. The site was finally launched on the 16th of May. So Shweta's Basket is open for business. A huge big thank you to all my friends and family who visited the site and left such lovely comments. The basket will always be full. Just rummage and choose what you want to partake, friends. A very special thank you to Munmun for listening to the podcast of Friends and Friendships and telling us that the best thing that she likes about her besties is that they're non-judgmental. Don't we need such people in our life too? Also to Namrata, to Zahabia and Fatima for listening to Surkhe Ka Kamal and enjoying that story. It's a satire on the social evil of begetting an heir. And a very special mention to Shankar for being the first subscriber of my podcast on Google Podcasts. So thank you, Shankar. And this brings us to the story of this episode. Now this particular story is very special to me because it's the first story I wrote for an online platform and it did win. So here it goes. It is titled The Sound of Nothing. It was a glorious day, the kind of day that urged to spend time outside. So I stopped working on the story I was writing and told my daughter to grab her hat and sunscreen. Sweetie, we're wasting a perfect day sitting in the house. Let's go out into the garden. Thus armed with a lemonade jug, 2 paper cups, the novel I was currently reading, and a garden kit, we parked ourselves under the giant red umbrella. An umbrella that my husband had insisted we buy for just such occasions. I opened the foldable easy chair and plonked myself in it, while my daughter plonked her hat on her head and headed out into the garden and golden sunshine to explore around. Oh, what a pretty picture she makes, swelled my heart with pride, with the hair cascading down her back, head bent forward in concentration, and a song on her lips. I knew what her expression would be, even though I couldn't see her face just then, partially covered as it was with her ebony hair. From time to time, I kept warning her to be careful of the bugs, like any typical mother, and she kept ignoring me, like a typical daughter. Content with our ritualistic banter, I continued reading my book, and somewhere down the line, lost myself in the Matthew Riley thriller. It was the sound of nothing that finally pulled me out of the pages I had been lost in. I looked up and couldn't see her. So I stood up and looked around and started calling her name. It wasn't alarm in the beginning that I felt, just annoyance that she would be somewhere where I couldn't see her and she couldn't hear me. Nevertheless, I raced to the back of the house where the white picket fenced off the property from the public beach. To my horror, the gate was open. Now in a complete grip of panic, I raced out screaming her name. Luckily, there were only a handful of people on the beach at that time on the day. At my panic cries, they turned around and came forward to help. I kept screaming, "My daughter! Have you seen my daughter?" Each "no" weighed down my heart. Then a hesitant voice said, Is she yours?" I looked at the woman and followed her finger to the low cluster of rocks to my left further down the beach. And there she was, lying on the beach, only her head visible, rest of her body obscured by the rocks. As I ran and drew closer, I saw the waves lapping her knees. Oh my God, I screamed in my head and broke into a dead run. As I reached nearer, I could see her eyes were closed and she was just lying there. And when my shadow fell on her, she opened her eyes and laughingly said, "Look, Ma, I'm a mermaid." My anger deflated like a pricked balloon, and I dropped to my knees in sobbing relief. Oh dear. I'm sure all of us have been through one such experience in our life, and we never ever want it to be repeated. As a parent, isn't that a worst nightmare? I remember when the twins were young, going out was such a harrowing experience. To keep them in line of sight all the time was such a task. And the relief that we got back home safely was immense. And that is why, more than shopping, it was that vigil that used to drain me out. And that is one of the reasons I took to online shopping. So what changes did you make? Or what precautions did you take when you went out with your young children? Write about them in the comments and we will compare notes. And guys, that brings me to the end of this episode. Please visit my website shwetasbasket.com for more such short stories, poems and reviews. Leave a voice message here. You need to be a registered user for that, or you can leave a comment on the website under the same story, or you can contact me on Facebook and Insta. My handle, as always, is Shweta's Basket. I hope you caught my previous episode, Surke Ka Kamal, which I said was a satirical take on the social evil of begetting an heir. And that's it. This is Shweta Singh, your host, signing off. Till we meet again on the air. Bye for now, friends.